From the beginning of time, man has always had a pursuit of the best quality of life possible. That quality of life is not possible without resources. The form of resources we have accumulated has changed over time from cowrie shells, state-controlled money, precious metals, real estate, and stocks and bonds. Over the past 100 years, the world has been dominated by the US dollar and its reserves. But everything that has a beginning also has an end. A new financial revolution is upon us with the emergence of a digital economy. The way we earn, spend, and accumulate resources is fundamentally changing. A new asset has appeared that the wealthy have overlooked. Bitcoin has become the best performing asset of the past decade by far. With only 21 million ever in existence, there are more millionaires and billionaires in the world today than there are Bitcoin. Just by holding 0.25 Bitcoin today will put you in the top 1% asset holders in the world in the next 5 to 10 years. If you had invested $100,000 in Bitcoin in 2013, today it will be worth more than $15 million. Bitcoin billionaire Raoul Pal says, Bitcoin's performance is so dominant and so all-encompassing that it is going to suck in every single asset narrative dry and spit it out. Never before in my career have I seen a trade so dominant that holding any other assets makes almost no sense. This is not an industry you can afford to ignore. If you want to remain in business, then you must adapt. Are you offering services in Bitcoin? Are you accepting payments with digital currencies? Have you adopted blockchain technology? Blockbuster Video at one point was the most dominant video service in the world. They had the opportunity to be part of Netflix, but they ignored the changing technology. Where is Blockbuster today? Where will you be tomorrow?
All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. I'm the founder and CEO of Ivey Crypto Academy, ILCA for short. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. We are on StreamYard today. This is our Saturday Crypto Talk. So we are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So if you're on Facebook, then there was, before you make a comment, you can click on what's telling you to use StreamYard to access your name. If you don't do that, then you're going to show up to me as Facebook user. So go ahead and type your name in the chat box. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I share information for educational, training, and entertainment purposes only. And it is up to you to make your own informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. So I see we've got so far. Dorothy Mays was on here early. She was waiting. Good morning, Dorothy. I see Miss Marnita Casa from Colorado. Mr. Albert from Connecticut. Good morning. DJ from Colorado. Facebook user, good morning. Janelle from Colorado. What's going on in Colorado? I know y'all won the NBA championship and everything. And come on now. Nathan from Vegas. Good morning. Facebook user from Mexico. Another Facebook user saying good morning. Ann Perez from Rochester, New York. Good morning. Joyce Easley from South Carolina. Good morning, Joyce. See Gina Mohammed from Philadelphia. Good morning, Gina. Facebook user St. Petersburg, Florida. Oh, wait. Jacqueline from St. Petersburg, Florida. We got another Facebook user there. Also, Yashika from Georgia. Good morning. Well, all right. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started now. Let me get you. I got Diane Williams. Hey, wait. That's Diane right there. Good morning, Diane. So let's go ahead and get started what we're talking about today. Oh, I see you, Leonard. Leonard from La Quinta. Oh, you guys have been burning up out there. Been hot. I got another Facebook user from Oregon. Good morning. So This is Saturday, and Saturday we normally do my crypto talks. I have inner circle crypto talks I do all throughout the month. The day, every day of the week. But on Saturday I do it for the public, open for the public, and I cover anything that's going on in the crypto space up to date. This is to the date. This is how I stay informed. This is how I stay in the know. What's going on in the space so that I can make the proper decisions with my portfolios moving forward. So it's not just me just teaching, it's also I'm learning. I'm always learning. If you run into anybody who says that they are a crypto expert, but they're not willing or doing anything to stay fresh and learning on a daily basis, then they will quickly be obsolete. This industry is moving and changing rapidly, so much so that I can't even keep up. Literally, I would have to do now about 3 crypto talks a day just to keep up with the pace of what's going on in the world in this space. And I just can't do that. So I try my best. Well, one major crypto news happened this week that it's crypto news. So I need to report on this. And it's about a company called IX Global that just got a warning, warning, assets frozen. I'm going to actually read their press release from the SEC. Now, let me get instead of normally a crypto talk, I read the charts, then I go through the news. This morning, I'm going to go straight into this news first. Then I'm going to read the charts and do what I normally do for crypto talk. But I got to get a little background on this and some disclaimers on this because something like this happening affects everybody in the crypto space, the digital space, the direct selling space, and all the people who are involved in that company that have put their money in. So this is stuff that we cannot just ignore. What I do not do is kick a company when they're down. Start just talking bad about it to try to promote anything else that I have going on. I have empathy and sympathy for the individuals that are and will be impacted by this move from the SEC. I've been in the direct selling space for almost 25 years this year. It's done very well for me. I was able to retire 11 years ago. I retired from the space 6 years ago, only recently came back. I came into the crypto space. Ever since then, I've always been an influencer and a consultant when it has come to different crypto opportunities and projects that I've been involved with. IX Global, there is a story about what is my relationship directly or indirectly that I think is important to share and understand. Because if I've been in crypto for 7 years, I am not a part of IX Global. As another disclaimer, I do not have a position with IX Global. I am not a consultant. I did not invest. I do not have a position. I didn't get a ghost leg. I didn't get sponsored. I have no direct affiliation with IX Global. What I do find interesting is that not too many people have ever asked, why not? If I have my own crypto education company, if I've made 7 figures in this space, if I've been in this space for 7 years, then why is it that I did not jump in it? Not too many people. I've gotten, since the company started, I was getting hit up. But every single person that's hit me up with it has never even asked, why not? I'm going to tell you why not. All right, in a second. But how this, there's a few reasons why. The first was when I hear of a company, I research it. I look at who's involved, what is it that they're doing, are there any red flags, what are they claiming, what is their marketing like behind this, what are they saying publicly. I take all of that into consideration, and who's marketing it. I take all of that into account, and then no matter what they say, I look at what they're doing and I say, if you fail by 90%, can I still make a profit? And if the answer is yes, then I make the decision on whether or not I want to be a part of it or not. So at the time that IX Global hit the scene and it hit my desk, this is before I created ILCA. Before I created ILCA, I was still in the consulting realm of different companies. But I was making a move that I only want to be involved in things that I believe are going to be long-term, that have real world value, that have a product that people will want to buy and use regardless of any type of networking plan or anything like that. So I said no to basically everything out there. But I have been consulting for companies that wanted to use my crypto education. So when I was approached with IX Global, the first name I heard, well, I'm not, here's the thing too. I'm not gonna throw names underneath and people under the bus that way. So I'm not gonna be name dropping anybody, but I am gonna share some stories that I think is relevant for my sake, for me and those that are around me. And some of you guys will know what I'm talking about. Years ago, I was part of I was asked if I could help a company that was based out of Russia, really trying to make a move in the United States. And they already had a master distributor and different leaders, but they wanted me, if I can come on board and kind of use my skills. I've been vice president of sales and marketing for several companies, and use my skills to kind of corral everybody together and do corporate presentations on the behalf of not just what it would be my organization, but for everybody. And I was actually interviewed for this, and I was interviewed with the main, some of the main principals, and also some of the top leaders were in this interview. There was two of them, I think, two or three. And because of the interview with some of the leaders, they and the whatever budgeting they had, they were trying to figure out, how can we bring Brandon in without stepping on the toes of our already top leaders and make them feel comfortable, and based on with our budget and what type of title could we give. So to make a long story short, they just negotiated, well, I won't have a physical title, but they will give me compensation through me. Actually, I can build as well inside of the company, and I would be frontline to the company. That was the first problem right there. Instead of them putting me in the organization of the top leaders, I was frontline to the company, which the top leaders automatically saw me as competition. That was, looking back on it now, that was the biggest mistake that they probably could have done, because it didn't work out for any of us. And there's a couple of things that I don't tolerate in anything in business. When it comes to my family, religion, and racism. Those three things I am uncompromising about. I don't care who you are or what you do, how much money you've made. Those are the things I will not compromise on. So I didn't initially think too much of it until I got a strange request that I've never seen before. All right. And the request was that if I do corporate presentations, that's what I was hired for. And then they wanted for me to be compensated, I have to actually have a position and build my business. If I was going to do that, they said I could not show my face or say my name, because some of the leaders would be afraid that if people saw and heard me, I was good at what I do, that they would try to sign up with me and not with them. So what I was brought on board to do to help everybody ended up being the opposite. And there was a main individual who was behind this effort to not show my face. And I don't want to get too much into whether or not there was an issue with it being a Russian-based company, the image of the United States, and me not looking maybe fitting that image. if you know what I mean. I'll leave it at that. But there was a main leader at the time that I was being told was saying things, behind the scenes, and there was a lot of shady stuff happening. And I ended up after maybe about 4 or 5 months, and I was like, no, this is not going to work out. And let me get back to my main focus, which is on the crypto side. So that was way before I created ILCA. So I get approached with IX Global, and the first thing I hear is that main individual that caused those things in that other company was the main figurehead leading IX Global. And that was immediate turnoff. Before I even looked at what IX Global is all about, I said, oh, hell no. First of all, this person doesn't even know nothing about crypto. So you got them leading this thing on crypto? The move was just out of pocket, out of place, out of character. And someone said, well, just look at what they're doing, Brandon. Look what the company's doing. So I did. I looked at what the company was doing, and I did not see at first any red flags, major red flags. What I saw, a couple of things was, okay, they are based in the United States. They are doing everything that they're supposed to do to try to be registered, to try to be legal entity, full disclosure. There was a lot of money behind it. It did not look to me like they were doing a fast type money grab. But the whole concept behind it, I did not believe is the future of crypto. In crypto, we've learned if you're trying to put networking attached to it, there's things you cannot do. You cannot guarantee income. You cannot talk about passive income where people pay money. They don't have to do anything else. No products or things was being sold. And you have residual income or passive income coming in through somebody else managing or having control of your assets. Now, it could be debatable whether or not that is legal based on the country, but I knew at the time the SEC is looking down on anything that's doing that. And once a company gets big enough that's doing that, it's going to cause a couple of problems. It's going to get on the radar screen of the authorities, whether it's the SEC or the CFTC. But you now have a large individual of member base that is out there marketing your business. And I can guarantee you, most of them are not crypto educated. So they're going to be marketing and saying and doing things that they shouldn't do, that might not necessarily be sanctioned by the company, but that doesn't matter. As we saw what happened with Vima, you had independent representatives out there making claims and doing things not sanctioned by Vima, but at the same time, Vima did not come down on them to stop it. And the SEC goes in and raids them. Now, Vima won its case ultimately, but it came at a cost. See, the problem with the idea of the SEC shouldn't be jumping on us, we didn't do anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. That may be true, but at the end of the day, your company has now been shut down, your assets have been frozen, and it's going to cost you a fortune to try to prove your case. And what I always find interesting about the SEC is that they always operate from we are trying to protect our investors, right? Yet, the main people that get hurt from the SEC's movements is the investors. They never answer that. There are many things that can be done if the SEC or the three-letter agencies want to clean up a company without having to go, World War III and shut everything down and freeze everybody's assets and all that. But anyways, that's just how the SEC moves. So for me, I said, it's just a little bit too risky. Is not where I want to move forward with, and then plus the individual who was the main one behind this, that I'm sure other people think that they're just a wonderful people. I had a bad experience with, and I have other reasons that I won't share publicly that I say no. So I passed on that. About a year later, it started really getting heavy, and I had top leaders again, top leaders approaching me. And now the deal, hey, bro, we can make a deal. You can do this, you can do this, da 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 da. And at the same time, I still said, no, I'm focusing on my crypto education in my own company. At this point, I did have ILCA. So the last run-in when it came to me and IX Global happened 2 months ago. One of my a company I consult with, I am their crypto educator. And it's been that way for a few years now. And they've been having their own struggles and problems. And a lot of the top leaders over there have been looking for plan Bs or alternative ways of having an income coming in while this company was getting their act together. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. That is encouraged. You should have multiple streams of income. You know, there was this old saying, you can't ride two horses with one ass. That's the old days. Not anymore. You must have multiple streams. This is a very volatile space, and there's a lot of things that can happen that is not in your control. So different leaders of this company started branching out and looking for an opportunity. One main leader decided to do it a certain way. And this leader decided to go through the #1 money earners entire downline database, where most of the company is under, send out a private message and state that they're having a private must be on call to address what's going on with the company. Well, that was a bait and switch, because what that call ended up about was more of a recruiting call for IX Global. And there were people on that call who did not want to be on that call, nor their downline on that call. Now, I was not on the call. A lot of you were, and it was recorded and it was public. And so when some of the members started asking questions, so wait a second, is this a cross recruiting call? What's going on? They got blasted for asking the question. And then someone asked the question, well, wait a minute, what about, some of the other leaders, Brandon Ivey? I am the crypto educator, right? So if you're going to make a move to a crypto company, you think you might, what does the crypto educator have to say about it? The moment my name came up, my name got blasted. And there was a discredit effort to discredit who I am, what I do, and why, in an effort to say, yeah, you don't need to listen to what Brandon may have to say. This is what we're doing. 2.5 months later, here we got the SEC on them. So that background is just to let you know what my direct and indirect involvement as far as IX Global. Now, personally, I did not believe IX Global was a scam. I did not believe that they had any intention to go out there and try to scam people out of their money. I was actually kind of impressed with what they were doing and how. I didn't know how it was going to work, never saw anything like that before, but if it works, hey, it works. I was impressed with that and say, hey, best of luck to y'all. It's not for me, but best of luck to you guys. But I did not I remember I talked about the people who were joining the company also can tell you a lot about the company, because people have patterns, and when you get a certain crowd that they've got a history of doing things a certain way, they're going to do that same thing in this company because that's what they know. So I saw a lot of marketing and advertising and things about this, and I was like, just shaking my head at yeah, this ain't going to end well for them. Unless IX Global cracks down on this advertisement and stuff that's going on. So put that out of my mind. We kept moving forward. Then we get this. So let me share screen, and we will go over the SEC, what they say. And I'll give my comments on just this press release first. But again, up to this point, I did not believe that IX Global was doing anything nefarious or going to try to pull a rug pull on anybody, was trying to scam people out of their money. Okay. But I'm not in the company. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I do not believe that the leaders promoting IX Global or going out there trying to scam their people out of money, trying to intentionally put their people and their following in a situation that was going to be bad for them. I don't believe that. I don't care what my personal feelings are with any of these leaders. They all just want to put food on their table and have a better life and make some extra money. So saying that, let me share screen. All right, share. All right. So this comes out. U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. SEC obtains emergency relief to halt Utah-based companies' crypto asset fraud scheme. Okay. But this is what stood out to me. Involving 18 defendants. That stood out to me. This stuff did not, because right now, in 2023, the SEC has basically declared war on the entire crypto industry, period. No matter who you are, what you do, they're coming after you one way or another. So you got to know the lay of the land. Those of us in my Inner Circle Crypto Talk, we've been following this. We've been covering this all year. So this is not this. Involving 18 defendants. All right, let's go on to this. Washington, D.C., August 3rd, 2023. The Securities and Exchange Commission today announced that it obtained a temporary asset freeze, restraining order, and other emergency relief against Digital Licensing, Inc., a Draper, Utah-based entity doing business as Debtbox, as well as the company's 4 principals, Jason Anderson, his brother Jacob Anderson, Shad Brannon, and Royden Nelson, and 13 other defendants in connection with a fraudulent scheme to sell crypto asset securities to hundreds of U.S. investors that raised approximately $50 million and unspecified amounts of Bitcoin and Ether. Okay, so when the SEC or any prosecutor goes after somebody, they come out the gate firing. It's not just, they don't cherry pick. They throw everything they can, and then they work backwards to see what's actually going to stick. Most of this I don't think is going to stick, but it's enough for them to say this is the reason why we needed to freeze assets. Really? Restraining order and other emergency relief. All right. The SEC's complaint, unsealed yesterday in the U.S. District Court for the District of Utah, charges the defendants in an ongoing scheme that began in March 2021 to sell unregistered securities they call node licenses. In hundreds of online videos, here we go, right here. That's what I told you guys about when you get big enough and your member base is out there marketing, and they may be saying and doing things that not even the company should approve of. Guaranteeing. I just saw just today. I'm not gonna call the brother out, but I just woke up this morning, went on Facebook, and the first thing I see is who wants to get into a new project where guaranteeing daily income. That kind of stuff right there brings it down for everybody. Anyways, in hundreds of online videos and social media posts, as well as at investor events, The co-defendant or the defendants told investors that the node licenses would I read this like a lawyer does. Looking at this, defendants ongoing scheme and hundreds of online videos. So they're claiming that the defendants named in this case are the ones who have hundreds of online videos and social media posts, as well as at investor events. The defendants told investors that the node licenses would generate various crypto asset tokens through crypto mining activity, and that revenue generating businesses in a variety of sectors would drive the value of the various tokens debt box mined, resulting in exorbitant gains for investors. Okay. In reality, as alleged, the node licenses were a sham intended to obscure the fact that the total supply of each token was created by Debtbox instantaneously using code on a blockchain. Okay, so they are directly questioning where are these tokens coming from. Now, I'm not in Debtbox. I don't know behind the scenes, are these brand new tokens that they were, that's part of their project and what they're doing? Or are they already on the market to sell? I don't know any of that stuff yet, but I'm just listening to what they're saying. In reality, the token was created by Debtbox instantaneously using code on a blockchain. That's kind of vague. You got to get a little bit more specific with that. The whole point of nodes is there's a new project. The project is backed by a nodal token. Instead of selling it directly as which would become a sell of a security, the people were investing in this debt box, which is like a node. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know if you're getting an individual node or you're just investing money into this debt box, and the debt box is generating tokens for those who are investing in the box, so that you have these tokens as a pre-sale before they can be sold on the open market. I'm just assuming that's kind of how the process works. We allege that Debtbox and its principals lied. Okay, so now this is where we're going. This is not wrong or illegal, but this is what they're alleging. We allege that Debtbox lied. Okay, now this is where the problem is. To investors about virtually every material aspect of their unregistered security offering of securities. Okay, first, what are you saying that they were selling as a security? If the people were not buying tokens, they were buying access to a debt box that delivered tokens. Are you saying that that was a security? Including by falsely stating that they were engaged in crypto asset mining. Okay, falsely stating. So this was not taking place, said Tracy S. Combs, director of the SEC's Salt Lake Regional Office. We filed this emergency action to protect the victims of the defendants' unlawful actions and to stop further harm. I'd love to know, what do they know? I'm going to have to read when the actual filing comes out. The SEC's complaint further alleges that Debtbox and its principals, along with defendants James Franklin, Western Oil Exploration Company, Inc., and Ryan Bowen, lied to Debtbox investors about the revenues of the businesses purportedly driving the value of the tokens. Were any of these tokens being able to be sold? You guys can let me know. Any of these tokens that this debt box was generating to be sold on the open market? In total, 18 defendants, including those mentioned above, have been charged with engaging in unregistered securities offerings. Debtbox, Jason Anderson, Jacob Anderson, Brandon Nelson Franklin, Western Oil, and Bowen were also charged with violations of the anti-fraud provisions. Anti-fraud. A lot of that is, did they not have KYC, anti-money laundering? But that's not even the case. They're saying that you were purposefully frauding. So I guess this goes down to intent. The SEC is going to have to prove that they had the intent to fraud their investors. Jason Anderson, Jacob Anderson, Brandon Nelson, Bowen, Mark Schuler, Benjamin Daniels, Joseph Martinez, Travis Flaherty, Brendan Stanges, Matthew Fritzke, B&B Investment Group, LLC, and IX Global, LLC, were charged with acting as unregistered brokers. Okay, I could see you charge the company that way, but they charge all of these individuals. Are these individuals part of the corporate team, or are they just independent distributors in the company? Which also means this, guys. When the SEC goes after a company, they're not just going after the creators. They're going after the promoters as well. The complaint seeks permanent injunctive relief, the return of alleged, and that's very important there, this is alleged, ill-gotten gains and civil penalties. The Honorable Judge Robert J. Shelby, U.S. District Judge for the District of Utah, entered an order on July 28, 2023, imposing a temporary restraining order, temporary asset freeze, and other relief. This is what kills companies, and this is a practice that it's got to change. You are making an accusation against the company, but you're going to shut them down in order to protect the investors. But in so doing, what happened to the value of any of these assets? Did they go up, or did they go down on news like this? Now, all the people who did invest, it wasn't IX Global that hurt them. It was the SEC. So even if IX Global can win this case, and that's not going to happen tomorrow, it took VEMA years and millions of dollars. So even if they win, can you resurrect this? I'll give you a good example. Ripple. Ripple's all-time high was about $3.40 back in 2018, beginning of it, when Bitcoin had reached its $20,000 peak. The SEC goes in and sues Ripple for a selling of unregistered security in their terms. Ripple's been fighting this for years. And because of this lawsuit, when the last Bitcoin bull run happened and Bitcoin went to $69,000 a coin, all coins rose with it except Ripple. Ripple should have in that bull run, if they weren't touched by the SEC, it should have risen at least to about $7 a coin, at least between $7 to $10. But it was held back because of the uncertainty with the SEC. Years later, Ripple wins the case. So by winning the case, you would think, did Ripple just shoot all the way back up like it should have? No, it only went up from 40-something cents to 80 cents. And then kind of sat right there. So all those people that's been holding Ripple for all that time, it's going to take a while for Ripple now to get back in the swing of things and build itself back up. And the SEC is still threatening to do different appeals or whatever to come after Ripple. Now, Ripple didn't have a network marketing arm on it with a whole bunch of people out there promoting Ripple the way IX Global did. So this is bad all the way around. I do not agree with the SEC's movements, but I also, because of my knowledge in this space, I'm not surprised, and I avoided this because I already knew this was a strong possibility of happening. Crypto education is key. It is everything. The gentleman that tried to throw me under the bus 2 months ago does not even promote his own people getting crypto educated in his own company because he's more worried about that his people might be influenced and want to follow me than anything that he's got going on, and led his people into this. You've got to be careful out there in this space. Unfortunately, whether you believe it's right or wrong, in the United States, networking and crypto has not fared so well. Anything that I do has to be not about investments, not about passive income, residual. I retired from direct sales because there was no such thing as residual income anymore. They need to stop saying that. You've got to do the work. In other words, you also need to sell a product. You've got to sell a product. And you've got to sell a product that people will want to buy and use, even if there was no network marketing arm attached to it. Even in direct sales, you've got in the United States, you've got to have that 2-to-1 customer to rep ratio. You cannot make guarantees. You've got to let it be known that you are at risk of losing some, most, if not all, of your money. Now, as an individual that's just trying to make money for your family, what can you do to protect yourself? Because you can't control, what's going on behind the company. One thing I don't know from this is what exactly were these owners actually doing? Is what the SEC saying true? That it was just a sham to get investors to invest money, that what they were advertising was not actually taking place? That's a whole different story. I can't argue that or against that. But what about the other people's name? Did they know that stuff was going on? I doubt it. I doubt they had any idea what the owners were doing behind the scenes to make everything work. But they got caught up in this because they were out promoting it. The one thing about the law does not accept ignorance as a defense. Well, I didn't know. Oh, so okay, yeah, you're right. You didn't know, so we're just going to let you off. That's not how the law works. You can't feign ignorance. Here's how you can protect yourself. If you are in this space, especially if you're dealing with crypto, I have 4 rules. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. It allows you to see what's going on. I never listen to what some representative of a company, how excited they are, they're talking about it. I get all hyped up. I automatically assume it's going to fail by 90%. Number 2, never use money you cannot afford to lose. I get mortified when I hear people talking about that they mortgage their house, they use their rent money, they sold their car, they're using their grocery bill money. What are you doing? This is, you cannot look in this space like get rich quick. And unfortunately, the advertising of things out there advertises it that much. When I do presentations today, I don't even talk about the money and the comp plan in a presentation. We'll talk about the product. Number 3, do not always get your money back as fast as possible. The biggest fear that people have is that they're going to get scammed or that they're going to lose all their money. Is this company going to get shut down? Are they going to pull an exit scam? Are they going to rug pull me? So if you didn't use money that you couldn't afford to lose and you got your money back, then you've eliminated your risk. So if it does fail, you're not, in the doghouse. You're like, oh man, at least I tried. That didn't work. Do not do any advertising talking about how much money you made and you didn't have to do nothing, and guaranteed income and passive income, some magical bot that's going to trade on our behalf. If you get involved with those things, do so silently. Don't attempt to recruit. And then rule number 4. What are your goals? Where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years from now? When you've got your goal set, then you know, am I short term or am I long term? I am not short term in this space. Everything I look at has to be long term, has to be real world based, product based. There's going to be a crypto financial storm that's going to wipe out the whole industry. There's more than 10,000 tokens on the market right now. That's going to go down to about 500. There's more than 500 exchanges. That's going to go down to about 50. Just like with the internet .com era. That era, when the .com bubble burst, most of those 90s companies went away overnight. What I'm looking for are the ones that are going to survive that. Real world product uses that people are going to want. That's where I have my eye and my focus on. So follow these rules. They're not going to guarantee you success, but they will at least minimize your risk. And that's the most that you can ask for, because there is a guarantee I can give you in this space. That guarantee is that you're going to lose money. That's a guarantee. I don't know when, where, or how much, but you will. Your education will be able to tell you, manage how much you lost, and that you would have made far more than you've lost. But you got to be careful about this stuff. And this is the reason why I did not join IX Global. Not because I thought it was a scam, but because they were operating in a way where they were going to have a bullseye painted right on their back. But the unknown for all of this right now, in my opinion, the unknown is the accusations that the SEC is saying about the owners of the company, the product that they were offering, not doing what they promoted to do. That's my biggest curiosity right now is. So that is it when it comes to this. I will be following this closely because I know there's a lot of people that's listening to me right now or that will listen to this recording that are affected by this. I'd never like to see that. I don't believe you're out there trying to scam anybody. You're just trying to make some money. You're just trying to take advantage of an industry that's going to be the future. And this is the wild, wild west. You know, we don't have the SEC hasn't given the exact rules. They are regulating by enforcement. Enforcement first, which means you've got to protect yourself first. Don't just see the shiny object and be all excited about it. So I'm going to end not my crypto talk, because now I'm going to go into my regular crypto talk. And the reason why I did this first, because a lot of you guys don't care about getting crypto educated, and you're going to log off. But anyways, I am doing a special lesson from one of my courses tonight called NFTs in Gaming. So if you want to learn about NFTs in this space, I'll be doing that tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It will be streamed live, just like I'm doing here. So you can watch on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. And I have a direct link on StreamYard for those that want to be on StreamYard. Just send whoever invited you here. They will give you that link, or just show back up to my Facebook page or the groups at 5 p.m. tonight. I pray for all of the families that are going to be impacted by this move. I hope that, if you follow the rules I have, you're going to be okay. You'll be okay. But I am curious about this whole 18 defendants as well as the owners. That's eye popping. I don't wish the worst on any of them. All right, now I'm going to switch on over to my normally scheduled crypto talk. So let's see what's going on in the market today. All right, the market cap is at 1.2 trillion, down 8%. And just if you guys want to know what topics I'm covering today, well, Robert Kiyosaki and Peter Schiff are predicting an imminent dollar collapse. Okay. And WorldCoin news. I've been talking about this with our inner circle all week, actually all month, right? The whole month of July, I've been talking about this. Wait a minute. I didn't look at it. There's some questions you guys are asking. Hold on. Is Bitcoin... Wait, let's go back. I didn't realize some of you guys were asking questions. Deadbox took 500 people to Africa to see the project, so that sounds suspect. I don't know. Nelson says, what are the benefits? I missed what we were talking about that. If you think about it, there's the method to the SEC's madness, possibly. Is Bitcoin being benefits to people? Is it true or not? Not sure I understand your question. Is Bitcoin being benefits? If you're asking, do I believe Bitcoin a benefit to people? My answer is yes. Let's see. In an environment with such a lack of regulatory clarity, what we're seeing about the SEC is regulation by enforcement. Yeah, or somebody quoting what I said? Are you disagreeing with me? Yep. Let's see. Yes, they have to protect investors for the real. They have to make sure about that. And thank you, Marnita, on that. All right. Oh, what is that? The best days of the U.S. dollar are behind, and U.S. de-dollarization. That is true. Let's get on into that. This is where you're not going to see it in the news. I believe the biggest threat to our economy and way of life in the United States is this de-dollarization movement, CBDCs and the BRICS nations that's happening around the world. And you're not going to hear about it in the U.S. media. All you're going to hear about is Hunter Biden's laptop and Donald Trump getting arrested again. To me, it's a lot of distraction from what's really going on in the world. So before I get into this, I got to let's see what's happening over the last week in the crypto space. The best performers, Flexcoin is up 56.8%. Caspa's up 32%. Bone Shiba Swap is up 25.9%. Shiba Inu 19.5%. XDC Network 13%. Optimism 11.9%. OKB 4.6%. Casper Network 3.4%. White Bit Token 1.7%. All right. Worst performers over the past week. Compounds down 20.3%. CRV is down 14.6%. Stellar's 14.2%. Pepe down 13.6%. Ripple down 12%. This is what I'm talking about. Good grief. Ripple all the way down 62 cents. Ivey, that's actually good. I want to buy some more. I'll tell you, I said this publicly from our crypto talk. Some figures in Wells Fargo Bank believe. I don't believe this. I think they're crazy, but they believe that Ripple can hit $200 to $500 a coin in the next 7 months. I think that's ultimately crazy. But then I think, what if they're 90% wrong? Could a $50 Ripple be good? Then I thought, what if they're 99% wrong? What if Ripple only goes $5? That's still almost double from its all-time high. So yeah, I bought more Ripple. And I'm going to buy more now. I see this price is dropping. Aave is down 11.6%. Synthetics Network, Solana, ApeCoin, Litecoin, Render, Tron, Sandbox. Oh, wow. Not a very good week in the crypto space this week. Okay, let's see. What does Robert Kiyosaki got to say? Warns of crash landing after U.S. rating downgrade. U.S. rating downgrade. Did we get downgraded? When did that happen? I thought they raised the interest rates in U.S. rating downgrade. Robert Kiyosaki, the renowned author of the best-selling book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, has emphasized his concern about an impending crash of the U.S. economy after a prominent credit rating agency downgraded the U.S. rating. Brace for a crash landing. So brace for the U.S. economy, brace for crash landing. Sorry for the bad news. Well, this is whenever I see Robert talking like this, I always want to see, is there anybody else saying the same thing? Because he's been saying this for the last 20 years. But brace for crash landing. Sorry for the bad news. The author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, has reiterated his warning about the U.S. economy heading for a crash landing. His cautionary message followed the decision by Fitch Ratings, one of the top 3 credit rating agencies in the U.S., to downgrade the U.S. debt rating from AAA to AA+. Marnita has been asking me this. I'm going to do it this week too. I have not done the financial crypto storm that's coming. I don't think I've done that since January. I started it 1 year ago this month. So you know what? This month, I think I will do that again. I got to pick a Saturday night, and I'll do that again. Because and then I'll be able to see what has changed in the past year. Where are we from a year ago? Let's see. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a 1997 book co-authored by Kiyosaki and Sharon Lechter. It has been on the New York Times bestseller list for over 6 years. More than 32 million copies of the book have been sold in over 51 languages. I strongly encourage to read that book if you have not read it. I need to read it again. The first shoe to drop, Fitch Rating Services downgrades U.S. credit rating from AAA to AA+. Brace for crash landing. Sorry for the bad news. Yet I have been warning for over a year, the Fed, Treasury, big corp CEOs have smoking fantasy weed. Take care. The famous author has been warning about an impending economic crash for quite some time. In May, he stated that he believes the U.S. economy is headed for a crash landing rather than a soft landing or a hard landing, as some economists have suggested. Last month, he said a giant crash is coming and the end of the U.S. dollar is approaching. He emphasized that he still recommends gold, silver, and Bitcoin, noting that these 3 investments are the best for unstable times. This week, Kiyosaki said the U.S. economy is not strong and America is broke. He further predicts an increase in bank failures. We've been seeing that, attributing blame to the Biden administration and the Federal Reserve for destroying regional banks. Kiyosaki warned that regional banks are being wiped out due to Fed policies. That is true. That is by design. Moreover, he anticipates that the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, will introduce a common currency that will kill the US dollar. Now, I don't believe that. I don't believe that it is going to kill the US dollar. If that's going to take some time to do, but it will drastically change the world financial layout since World War II, since before any of us were born. So we're going to experience something we've never experienced before. This is the biggest threat to our way of life right now. Not what Trump is doing or Biden or anybody. It's this. All right, what's the next one? And I don't have time to get into it details today. I do it in our inner circle crypto talk. So let's see here. Economist Peter Schiff warns U.S. dollar collapse is inevitable. Peter Schiff, gold bug, crypto hater. But him and Kiyosaki are saying the same thing. They don't say the dollar collapse is possible. The dollar collapse could happen. They're saying it's inevitable. You guys falling in love with this. It's not going to be worth more than toilet paper soon. Economist Peter Schiff has warned of an impending collapse of the U.S. dollar, even though he sees Fitch's downgrade of the U.S. rating this week as meaningless. While cautioning about a financial crisis and crash, Schiff emphasized, given the trajectory of U.S. government deficit spending, a dollar collapse is inevitable. I agree with that. Schiff on U.S. rating downgrade, crash, dollar collapse. Economist and gold bug Peter Schiff warned of a U.S. dollar collapse and the challenges faced by the U.S. economy in a series of tweets this week. His warnings came after Fitch Ratings downgraded the United States long-term foreign currency issuer default rating from AAA to AA+. Fitch is one of the three largest credit rating agencies in the U.S. Noting that Fitch downgrading U.S. Treasuries to AA+ from AAA is meaningless, as Treasuries are junk bonds. When it comes to rating sovereign credit, the primary risk is currency depreciation, not default. Given the trajectory, yeah, but perception is everything. That's what Robert Kiyosaki's talking about. Given the trajectory of the U.S. government deficit spending, a dollar collapse is inevitable. That is true. It's just a matter of when will this happen. The rating firm also replaced the negative watch it previously placed on the U.S. and assigned a stable outlook. In a follow-up tweet, Schiff wrote, even more ridiculous is that Fitch has the U.S. outlook as stable. In another tweet, the economist opined, credit ratings don't matter, as the U.S. probably won't default. Well, that's a political game. Yes, in the past, you can say that. But in a current divided Congress, divided America, playing politics, one party will allow us to default. As crazy as that sounds, they believe it's in their political best interest to allow that to happen. That reduces, so he's saying, probably won't. No. We're living different times right now. That reduces the real value of treasuries. If we get hyperinflation, that is basically the equivalent of default. Let me think about that. Why will we get hyperinflation? That is the equivalent of default. Well, if we get hyperinflation, the government is going to have to raise the credit ratings. That's going to spiral us into a recession, then depression. Schiff also cautioned that the U.S. economy is on a course toward a crash. That is true. Or, you know what? I guess I can't say that's true. I can say, I agree. Let me say it that way. I agree. The gold bug explained that rising treasury yields will lead to larger federal budget deficits, a weaker economy, a falling dollar, rising current account deficits, higher unemployment, lower stock and real estate prices, a financial crisis. Now, you got to think about it. If you look at the U.S. economy right now, it's looking hella good. Record low unemployment, strong GDP, but is this the quiet before the storm? He tweeted on Thursday, treasuries are collapsing as oil prices surge. Why are oil prices surges? This is also by design. Who controls the oil? I've been saying it in our crypto talks that the world is choosing sides right now. the world, and they are getting away from the US and the US dollar, and they're going to the BRICS nations. But the BRICS nations don't have this in place yet. So it's not an immediate threat yet. But they control the oil, and they're messing around with it. Saudi Arabia. Say goodbye to a soft landing and brace for impact. Recession plus higher inflation equals crash. Are you guys prepared for that? Are you prepared for when this happens? See, one thing that I follow what Jim Rohn talks about is, you know, sometimes there are things that are outside of your control. It could be your company, it could be the country, it could be the politics. You can't control that. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond to it. And one thing that he always stated, that the goal is to build a financial wall around your family so high that nothing can penetrate it. Nothing can penetrate it. That's the goal. So if this happens, do you think the wealthy are all of a sudden going to be broke? If there's a crash in the United States, do you really think that? No. They're prepared for it. JP Morgan Chase says, yeah, there's a financial hurricane offshore. We see it coming. And we're prepared for it. Not only are they prepared for it, they're preparing for the new world. Nelson's asking, can I share trusted investment companies? No, I cannot. I am not a licensed financial advisor. I cannot give financial advice. All I can do is help you to be educated so that you'll know what companies to look for. You'll know what investment things to look at once you're crypto educated. I can't tell you the companies, because that still will do you no good if you're not educated. So, next one up here. WorldCoin. I can give you a hint. The hint is follow the river of money. You've got to figure out money does not flow in just one single direction. Neither does a river. It moves, it turns, it changes course depending on the season. You've got to be able to move with that river. You want to be able to predict, where is that river headed in 2 years, in 5 years, in 10 years, and then position yourself in front of it instead of staying on the banks where the old river was and wondering, where did the water go? I want my job back. AI's taking all your jobs. All right? AI is going to take 40% of service-based jobs in the next before 2030. It's happening. So you want to follow, and here's another hint. Where are the wealthy people going? What are the wealthy people investing in? What are they spending their time in? If you can figure that out, then you know what you should be doing. So Nelson, all I can say is, because that's a legitimate thing. People are afraid to invest in the cryptocurrency companies. Which are the legit companies? I can't tell you which ones are legit because it doesn't matter what I think. What matters is what the SEC thinks. I could think a company is legit all day long, and the SEC comes in and freezes everybody's assets. So it doesn't matter what I think. I've already shared earlier what you can do to protect yourself in case things like this happen. All right, here's something else that I am very, this has me nervous. Very, very nervous. Like, I could feel it in my gut, right? WorldCoin. Should you let Sam Altman scan your eyeballs for WLD? Let me ask you guys a question. If the company was offering you money to scan your retina, would you do it? Wow, I still got some good articles here. This is Facebook owner Meta may launch chatbot personas next month. The psychology of failure and its meaning for Web3 games. Oh, how long is this? This is an opinion piece. We'll see. Maybe I can get to it. But this has me all kinds of nervous. Now you guys are saying no. No. Hell no. Definitely not. But millions of people are saying yes because they're giving away money. And they go to any country's poor neighborhoods and say, hey, we're going to give you about $60. All we got to do is scan your eye. What if you go to a country where their average monthly salary is about $250 a month? And every person in the household can get $60 just for scanning your eye. You think they're not? Sam Altman believes his product, ChatGPT, will disrupt the world. Okay, Nelson, you keep asking this question repeatedly. What are the trusted investment companies? Can you share them here? No. No, I cannot. All I can tell you is get educated and you'll know what to do. As a solution to the consequences, he's asking you to scan. So I've shared this. This is public, so I got to remember what I've said privately and what I've said publicly. So, and yes, Brandon, remember we are public right now, so I got to watch what I say. All right, I'm not gonna jump down the rabbit hole. But you got a guy who created the problem, and then he created a solution at the same time. Really? OpenAI founder Sam Altman launched WorldCoin in July. And in Crypto Talk, we watched a video of him, and I told you guys my thoughts about him. I think he is I said I wasn't going to go down that route. Let me shut up. OpenAI founder Sam Altman launched WorldCoin in July, a cryptocurrency token offered to people willing to share their biometric data by scanning their eyeballs with an orb, seeking to link real-world identity with decentralized blockchain identity. Many aspects of the project embody the dystopian nightmare that the cypherpunks created Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in order to avoid. Oh, I like that one. I'll let that one slide. Bitcoin and Ivy League Crypto Academy. That's right. Although Ivy League Crypto Academy is not an investment. You are not investing in my company. You are investing in your education. I say that. The tokenomics for WorldCoin's WLD token are such that only 1% of the total value is floating right now. What is the price of? I got to remember to track this daily. What's the price of it now? It hasn't cracked. Remember I said I want to see when this cracks 100? Hasn't cracked the top 100 yet. Down 6.8%. What did I write before? WorldCoin price. That was buy more SRV. I didn't write it down. Let me watch. WorldCoin price. Let me start tracking this. So August 5th, WLD is at $2.12. Okay. It was at 241. Yeah, now you can make some money. Those of you who, if they're able to pull off what they think they can, you can make a whole lot of money off of this. Me personally, I'm not touching it. I don't want to have anything affiliated with this. The tokenomics for WorldCoin's WLD token are such that only 1% of the total value is floating right now. That kind of overhang is unprecedented. Even in the wild world of crypto distributions, the token won't long hold its value unless the entire world puts their eyeballs into the orb. Unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum, which grew organically through user adoption and utility, the project is all or nothing. Either it is the only solution for on-chain identity, or it will be worthless. Altman's recent testimony advocating for a regulatory moat for AI to protect OpenAI's dominance is suggestive of his business ethics. The change in business identity form for his organization from nonprofit to profit is also suggestive of the stickiness of his public promises. Claims that privacy and biometrics are protected by WorldCoin are unsubstantiated assertions. I agree. And they cannot be trusted until WorldCoin, along with its mysterious orb. I don't know. I mean, it's like that orb is catching my soul if I were to look into it. Like there's some kind of magic or something behind it. I got a bad feeling about that. Become free and open source. This is not Altman's. You know, why would you? Is that a marketing ploy to use an orb? They can just easily take somebody's phone and put it on your eye and do something like that. But they got some little orb thing going on. Sybil attacks and spam are a problem in crypto, and they can lead to market manipulation. Altman's AI revolution, as impressive and useful as it is, will make that worse. But this is not the answer. Crypto privacy should overcome the urge to ape into the next token. Look at this. People lined up. Where is this? Here we go, folks. Hundreds of youth, I think this is in London, voluntarily line up to have their eyeballs scanned with the WorldCoin orb to get their new digital ID with free money. WorldCoins in their new digital wallet. This is exactly how CBDC will be rolled out. This is exactly how CBDC will be rolled out globally. That is true. I could see that. You think they're lining up for a Taylor Swift concert? What the hell? Now, I thinking I might go on a field trip because I learned that they have an office or a location in Santa Monica, California. It's 45 minutes from me. I don't know. I don't want to be caught by any AI in the vicinity. That was an Asian country. All right. WorldCoin is partly a response to Altman's vision for AI. He anticipates his AI project will cause massive disruption and allow AI tools to pose as humans. So his response is to scan the eyeballs of everyone in the world. Altman asks us to trust him with that biometric information, and he will give us a few WLD tokens, which currently don't do anything. That's right. What's the utility of the token? Nothing. So it's the biometric equivalent of buying our identity registration with an on-chain version of the beads used to buy Manhattan. Imagine the ego needed to assert that you will change the world with AI, but warn your AI revolution will wreak havoc. Yet, don't worry, the whole world just needs to also scan their eyeballs into his secret orb to fix it. This depth of hubris would make Soviet-era commissars blush. Well, as I stated earlier this week, it ain't just him. Let's just say there's entities behind him. I'll just leave it at that. We are told not to worry because WorldCoin will decentralize. What? We are also told OpenAI was a nonprofit research organization, but we now know how that promise changed when the lure of Microsoft's $10 billion came calling. And even if WorldCoin, wait, Microsoft's $10 billion. Is Microsoft trying to what was this next article? Facebook owner Meta may launch chatbot personas next month. Okay, let me finish this. I'm learning something new today. And even if WorldCoin decentralized tomorrow, remember that WorldCoin is built on the optimism layer 2, and that isn't decentralized either. That's like the Chinese saying, "Oh yeah, we don't have actual access to what TikTok is doing in America. Yeah, we own the company, but we don't actually have." And then later, "Oh yeah, technically we do." And we do have access to it. In fairness, some of the top minds in zero-knowledge proof cryptography are working on the project. I don't doubt their commitment or their tech. And we can appreciate the search for identification solutions within cryptocurrency to build. Okay, so this is the Manhattan Project. How many of you guys went and saw Oppenheimer? The scientists were just doing a science project. Once it was complete, it's the powers that be decided how it was going to be used. So they're saying, "Yeah, we got the greatest minds working on this." Yeah, but they're not going to be the ones dictating how what they're creating is going to be used. So I don't doubt their commitment to or their tech. We can appreciate the search for identification solutions within crypto to build on-chain identity while preserving privacy. That doesn't mean buying into a solution from Altman for a problem he's creating with OpenAI that works by giving his centralized project control over my identity. Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin recently opined on WorldCoin, and he was mostly right about the trade-offs, from advantages to worst-case scenarios. But the one area he missed was the economics of wealth. Like some other crypto developers, he buys into an overestimated bias of wealth effects on the economy. That's an understandable bias for an Ethereum developer who is already wealthy. However, for the rest of us, the market's regular pricing system is more trustworthy than Altman's dystopian eyeball scanner. There are easier solutions to Sybil attacks and other identity challenges to the extent they are a legitimate problem. I'd rather pay for access or be fooled into interacting with bots than scan my eyeballs into Altman's orb. Yeah, I like that. The beginning of Skynet. All right, what is Facebook doing? Because I said Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates have been quiet about this. US tech giant Meta is preparing to launch multiple chatbots powered by AI as early as September. You think they were just going to sit on the sidelines and not jump in on this? According to an article quoting knowledgeable sources, the company seeks to encourage user engagement on its social media platforms with the chatbots that could also be used to collect more user data. Meta seeks to seize on chatbot hype, challenge competitors with AI agents. What does that mean? AI agents. Meta, the owner of Facebook and Instagram, is gearing up to present in the next few weeks a number of AI-based chatbots designed to exhibit different personalities, the Financial Times wrote this week, quoting people familiar. So you're going to have some chatbots might be nice, some might be hard, some might be friendly, some might be stern, different personalities. The company has been designing prototypes that can take the form of different characters and have discussions with the 4 billion users of its social media platforms, according to the sources. A letter, save that one for me for Monday, for our inner circle, who also revealed that the chatbots have been dubbed personas. Really? So they're already giving them a title. Personas. Let me write this down. Because anytime there's new lingo, I pay attention to this. So personas is Meta's version of AI agents with personalities. Very interesting. Okay. Personalities, Financial Times. The company has been designing prototypes, personas. For example, Meta explored creating one that emulates Abraham Lincoln and another that advises on travel opinions in the style of a surfer. This is what the Writers, Screenwriters Guild and the Actors Guild is complaining about. That soon AI can copy them and then copy their work, and they don't get credit for it. The chatbot, which will support a new search function and offer recommendations, could launch as soon as September, according to one of the quoted individuals. FT noted that the move comes as the company seeks to attract and retain users in the face of a stiff competition from platforms like TikTok. Apparently, Meta also tries to seize upon the hype around AI that spread since the launch of OpenAI's ChatGPT in November 2022. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg said during an earnings call last Wednesday that he envisaged AI agents that act as assistants, coaches, or that can help you interact with businesses and creators. He believes they can help companies with customer service or to increase staff productivity, he stated. We don't think that there's going to be one single AI that people interact with. Zuckerberg is spending all his energy and time on ideating about this. One of the persons that spoke with the Financial Times unveiled. He also said that in the longer term, developing an avatar chatbot in the metaverse would be explored. Others in this space have already launched chatbots. Nelson, how can you help people if they want? How can I help people if they want to invest? I help them because I offer crypto education. So let me have this scrolling on the bottom. If you want to get crypto educated first, register right there, ilcachallenge.com, ilcachallenge.com. And then you want to be in our inner circle where I talk about this stuff every single day, then you want to go there. I'll keep that up there. But that was, how can you help people if they want to invest? Again, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I don't help people that want to invest. I teach them how to be educated in this space to figure out what they want to do. All right. Zuckerberg is spending all his energy and time on ideating about this. One of the persons that spoke with the Financial Times unveiled, he also said that in the longer term, developing an avatar chatbot in the metaverse would be explored. Others in the space have already launched chatbots that feature personalities. Andreessen Horowitz-backed startup Character.ai, for instance, uses AI technology to generate conversations in the style of, I just got hit up twice. What is the name of this company? Yeah, I just got hit up twice by this. I'm waiting for the third time. That I'm going to have to look into this, especially after what the SEC is doing here. What is it called? Bitsports.ai. I'm starting to see this one go around. AI for sports trading arbitrage. Let me write that. I need to look this one up. Bitsports.ai. I told you guys in our inner circle earlier this year that second half of this year and all of 2024, the new flavor of the month in crypto is going to be all about AI. You're going to see AI companies popping up left and right. That's going to be the new flavor. See, the last flavor was about mining with nodes. That was the last flavor. Now the SEC coming down on all that. They're all going to start just the same leaders pumping and pushing all that other stuff. You're going to see them now pumping AI stuff. Mark my words. All right. Besides boosting engagement, wait. Andreessen Horowitz-backed startup Character.ai, for instance, uses AI technology to generate conversations in the style of Elon Musk or Nintendo character Mario. Besides boosting engagement, Meta's chatbots could be employed to collect more data, of course, on users' interests, the article points out. And with most of the company's $117 billion in revenues coming from advertising, they can help it to better target users with more relevant content and advertising. That, however, raises privacy concerns, yet just like WorldCoin. Next, I want to see Apple already showed their hand. They're coming out next year with their new, it's the next evolution of using social media, their new headset gear. It's going to cost $3,500, and I'm getting it. Oh, you know what I didn't even think about on that? One of the things that thing is doing, it is scanning your eyeball, where it's going to be able to tell how you feel just by looking at your eyes. I didn't think about that. In fact, let me tell you guys something. If you think that your eye is not going to get scanned one way or another, every time you pick up your phone and look on it, there's a front camera right there. There ain't no escaping this. Good grief. All right, I'm going to save this last article Monday for our inner circle about the psychology of failure and its meaning for Web3 games. The possibility of not winning spurs gamers' participation because it gives them the opportunity to learn and improve. Whoa. Hold on. What does this look like? What does that look like? Tonight, let me see a couple of paragraphs of this. Most gamers don't spend much time analyzing how we game and what games we enjoy. In fact, much of the pleasure in gaming derives from the ability to disconnect from the real world. Nevertheless, it's worth asking, what makes gaming fun in the first place? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy reading this one. All right. Let's save this. I'll save that for Monday. Let me stop sharing screen, let you know what's next. All right. So here's what's happening next. I hope you guys learned something new. As always, that's the point. I started this off by talking about what's going on with IX Global according to the public. I have no inside information. I am not on this. I don't know what their defense is going to be, but I will be watching it closely. And tonight I am doing a special. Got a busy day. Right when I'm done with this, I got my call with one of my clients in 30 minutes. I'm going to go see Meg. And we got SummerSlams tonight too. WWE SummerSlam. Jey Uso going to beat up his cousin Roman Reigns. And then we got I'm gonna take one lesson from my NFT courses called NFT in Games, and I'm going to cover that lesson live tonight, but I'm going to tailor make it for one of the projects that we are on right now, so you have an understanding of what this is and how it's going to be working. And this is really the future. Metaverse and NFTs, it's the future. JP Morgan Chase has already stated digital assets will be worth more than real world assets. That's why they created the company Onyx, and they're positioned in the metaverse. This is inescapable. So we're going to talk about that tonight. That's right, Leonard. And somewhere in there, I gotta throw in about an hour-long nap somewhere in there. All right, everybody. That is it for Crypto Talk for today. The rest of you guys, I will see you on Inner Circle Monday morning. And if you want to get this type of information on a daily basis, join our ILCA community. Join the Inner Circle. Take care, everybody. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.